Hello, my name is Felicia Mills. I'm going to be presenting a video about my presentation for safety and industrials in my workplace. I don't have the resources to put it on the TV. I wish I did. But today I'm going to be presenting my presentation off my laptop. So my laptop is right here. So the first slide says safety first, which is the title of my presentation. And it's by me. I'm Felicia Mills. So in this slide right here, I have a picture of a water and electrical hazard sign. And basically this slide shows that an electrical hazard, it can be a different type of so let me start over. So it's a different type of thing, a different type of safety hazard that could be in a workplace, depending on the current. And I found this on chapter 18, which depending on the current, it can have a big or small effect on the human body. And that was on page 406. And then this is the picture in my workplace that I took, which was a cord with an open wire hanging over the toilet in the bathroom, in the women's bathroom. And I believe this is an electrical hazard to a human, because if the cord drop and the cord is still plugged up, then and fall into the water, it can be a electrical hazard, and it can actually maybe put someone in electrical shock or kill them, depending on how high the current is. You can find different things about the how a current can affect the human body on page 406. My next slide is about hearing in the environment and how to protect your ears. On this slide, I have different things on how to protect your ears. And then I have, the question is, do you know how to protect your ears in a in a loud environment, which I believe is important to protect your ears at all costs, because you can damage your eardrums by being in a loud environment. So in chapter 22, I learned about the standards and regulations about the noises hazards. And on page 519, it says the federal regulations require that employees must be protected from excessive noise in the workplace. And in my workplace, I did find an example of this. I couldn't take a video, but I did find a picture, and I can explain the picture, which is on this slide. It's the pipes in the ceiling. Those pipes are to any water source in the building, and the building is 3 floors. So every time someone ran water, you hear the loud, excessive water running noise in the pipes, and they don't have any type of hearing protection in the area. So it sounds like a ocean, like swoosh, like a big, like ocean. Water is just hitting your ears. That's how it sounds. And this over here, I was describing what it sound like in the slide. And then over here, I was going through the different types of environment I learned about. And what chapter was that? That was chapter 29. And the different types of environments are, give me 1 second. There we go. The different types of environments are natural, induced, controlled, artificial, closed, and free environment. And this is my example. If I can get it to work, give me 1 second. There we go. Of environment in my workplace, which this right here is a room. Well, it's actually an open area where people can go to. They can hang out at. They can stand there. They can walk there. And as you can see by the walls, it's very dirty. It's very unsafe by everything that's going on. And I decided this was the type of environment. This was an induced environment because it was managed by humans and tore down by humans. And then I decided this also is an artificial environment because anyone can just walk in there, and it's a lot of dirt, as you can see, a lot of dust. You can't see that good on the picture, but it's a lot of dust, dirt, and it's very unhealthy for anyone to ingest. So, in conclusion, which I have my conclusion page right here, you can, pause to read it if you need to. But in conclusion, I basically was like, these are the 3 different types of environment safety issues I found in my workplace, which was the electrical hazard to humans, loud noises / hearing protection, and different types of environments, which I learned about in this class. And I believe this is an important thing to talk about because a lot of workplaces have these type of issues, especially with the noise, because it's a lot of workplaces that don't provide hearing protection for their employees. So I believe that's a big thing to talk about. And I think it's important to know what type of environment you put yourself in, so you know what kind of health conditions you could possibly have. So in the next slides, I talk about the tips that I would give to people. Some tips I would give to people is make sure you always wear hearing protection in loud places so you won't damage your ears. Make sure you wear eye protection when you're dealing with chemicals, because it can get in your eyes and affect your eyes. Also, wear a mask when you're dealing with chemicals because you don't want to ingest all the chemicals. Another thing is more tips, which was on my next slide, and it said make sure you know the danger of each chemical you are exposing yourself to, which you should know before using a chemical. Make sure you read the labels. It's important to read. Make sure you have a good work and life balance. This comes from the stress in the workplace. I actually have experienced stress in the workplace in many different workplaces before because I didn't have a good work and life balance. And that is something I had to learn over a period of time, which I do know now, and I do take into consideration when I am picking my jobs out. My last thing is make sure you get tested for everything from your ears and eyes to a sexually transmitted panel, because it could happen in the workplace. One of the doctors was talking about a sexual disease that can be transmitted in the workplace and how it could be transmitted, which I believe it was AIDS. And that concludes my presentation for today. If you want to go to the last slide, that's just, links to my photos. And this, I use textbook for a lot of this information. And yeah, thank you for watching my video. I hope you have a good day.